In today's video, we're going to look at Vox Target Switch Voltaic, the different techniques and training methods that will help you to rank up to Diamond. Angels and Aimers, what is going on? It is the Champ Strider here, and today it's all about the Voltaic benchmark, specifically Vox Target Switch Voltaic Easy, and it doesn't matter if you're in silver, gold, bronze. We're going to work on different techniques and different training methods that will help you to rank up all the way up to Diamond. And one way of doing it is just, of course, mindlessly grind the activity over and over and over again until you get that high score and just naturally get better at it. But we like the train smart, not train hard philosophy here. So we want to focus on our technique and different methods that we can use to kind of boost ourselves up and improve ourselves faster. So when we look at Vox Target Switch Voltaic Easy, it's a target switching drill, and at its core, it's a very basic, very easy drill, right? The targets, they just move horizontal, they move at a pretty consistent speed. It's not at all difficult to shoot these targets. What makes it difficult in the Voltaic benchmarks is you got to do it with quite a bit of speed if you want to get up to those diamond or higher ranks. And I say it all the time because the Voltaics, they're a niche in a niche. The silver benchmarks, getting that is probably quite a bit better than your average gamer could ever hope to achieve. So it's a stretch to get to diamond. It's difficult, but I think anyone can achieve it if they put the time in and the effort of focusing on their technique and practicing regularly. So when we talk about Vox Target Switch, there's three basic things that we need to focus on. So let's hop in with the first one, which is target selection. So now we're going to hop in and talk about target selection first, and I'm going to throw up a graphic here. Excuse the poor Photoshop skills, please. But I have 5 targets on the screen, and we want to focus on clusters first. So I have a cluster of 3. That would be the thing you want to always take down first because you want to get as many targets as quick as you can. After you hit your clusters, you want to kind of in your head figure, well, what is the next closest target? Because you want to move your mouse as short of a distance as possible because that's the quickest way to get a kill, right? Double the distance is double the time. And if you're just moving your mouse from side to side mindlessly, targets all over the place, if you just add it up through that full minute, that is the difference between getting a decent score in a Voltaic target switching benchmark and getting a poor score. So we eliminated that cluster quick, so we want to focus on what is the next closest target and flick to that. So we have this other target up here. That would be our next choice in the sequence. And a lot of times what happens is when you take out these clusters, if you look, I have this random target far away. A lot of times what winds up happening is the cluster is going to wind up respawning closer to the random target. So then you're going to get another cluster to take down. So you kind of go in and out of this sequence of just melting down clusters as quick and as effectively as you possibly can. So the next thing we want to focus on is our switches or our flicks. And what a lot of people want to do here is they don't like to lose control for a second, and they maintain too slow of a speed to meet the Voltaic Diamond benchmark marks because you got to be pretty fast to do it. And the ideal way is not to be slow and in control the whole time, but you want to flick to the target as fast as possible. So I'm going to put up 2 very exaggerated examples here, but in the first one, I'm going very slow. I'm in control the whole time, and I'm getting right on the target. But just think about the time it took me to get there and add this up over an entire minute, how much time you lose doing that. And now in my second example, I'm flicking as fast as I can, but notice I missed the target by a little bit. And what I'm actually going to do here is it's quicker to micro correct or get back on the target, so make that small fine adjustment, than it is to actually just be in control the whole time. So if you want to get up to those diamond rankings or even higher, a lot of it is about cutting out of the amount of time you spend in those flicks, so because you want them to be as fast as possible. And the last thing that's important with the Vox target switch is your smoothness. And even though the targets aren't moving very quickly, when people are trying to go fast, they get jittery with their aim. And when you're losing shots by your wrist just shaking back and forth, you wind up slowing yourself down. You're less efficient with your aim. You're less efficient with your movement. And over time, again, this is the difference between someone ranking in platinum or diamond, is being smooth and burning down the targets very cleanly. And now I always say talking about technique is one thing, but we need ways to practice these techniques to actually get better than them them because it's not as easy as just saying be smooth, right? This aiming stuff, it's more complicated. That it's a difficult thing to get up in those high voltaic benchmarks. So I love to use different drills or different exercises to train specific areas of my technique to make me better when I notice I have an issue. So we're going to look at things you can do or exercises you can do to get your score better in the voltaic benchmarks. So if you're looking to practice just generating pure speed and working on that, I like target switching 360 static and the thin version also. I think this is a great way to practice just flicking as fast as you can. But the best way I think to improve is these next two drills with focus a little bit more on smoothness in your target switching. So probably my favorite exercise to get better at box target switch is floating heads 50%, 400% HP. And this is a very, very small kind of mirror of box target switch. You got extremely small targets, so you have to be very precise in your flicks, and you also have to be smooth to stay on them because with any shake, you're going to get off the target. And it mirrors box target switch very well because the targets move horizontally and they don't change directions that much, so it's a very close drill to it. It's just more difficult, and I equate this to like if you want to get better at one wall 6 targets TE or something. A lot of people, you train on one wall 6 targets small because once you go back to the larger target version, it feels a lot easier to do. And this is kind of that same concept here, that is going to make you more precise and efficient on your flicks, and it's also going to improve your smoothness, so your scores should go up if you add this to your training regularly. Another exercise I really like to improve your box target switch is also extremely underplayed. No one does it. And it's not something that I would grind out for scores or whatever because the drill's a little finicky, but it's called dot tracking, which again, it's a very small size dot. And this drill is all about maintaining smoothness on those small dots. And this will really help you guys refine or notice where you have some jitters or some shake in your aim and to get better at it. And remember, we want to get as efficient as possible, and that's what really makes the difference in getting those platinum or diamond scores, is not wasting any shots on the wall. So again, this drill is just great for developing that mouse smoothness for box target switch specifically. Now, if you want to do some more smoothness training, I'd focus on exercises that don't strafe too much, since in box target switch, the targets are pretty consistent. So something like smoothness trainer, smooth your wrist, or centering 180 no strafes are all good options if you want to get a little bit extra smoothness in. And the more I work on the voltaic benchmarks, the more I see how important smoothness is in all of them. There are so many exercises that focus on smoothness, so I would definitely look to add some of that stuff more consistently to your training. All right, guys, so that's going to be it for me here. I hope this video was helpful and increases your score, your ranking in the voltaic benchmarks. Give it a few weeks, and I think you will definitely see some real results. Now, before you go, if you're not yet an angel, become one by hitting the subscribe button. I plan on rolling out a bunch more of these videos where we target specific voltaic benchmarks and how to get better at them, so you don't want to miss it. I'll see you guys in next week's video. Champ, out.